Norwell team. So they get some motivation and some momentum going. Abington would like to put a loss in their loss column, in the Rockland loss column, because that means Abington, Norwell, and Rockland would all have one loss. And then we all have to look to Middleborough and see what we do against them.
Well, I just hope Jack Riley gets the victory.
Ready? Jack Riley's a freshman backup.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please direct your attention to the north end zone so that we may proudly welcome and introduce our youth football. Each fall, our town's fields come alive thanks to the volunteerism of many youth football and youth cheerleader coaches, and thanks to the energy and the excitement provided by Abington youngest athletes. Tonight, we'd like to take a few moments to recognize our youth football and cheerleader program by welcoming them to Memorial Field for a round of applause from Green Wave Nation. Okay, first up are our Mighty Mites, led by head coach Jeremy Iacobucci and assistant coach Tim Chapin. And now let's welcome our Mites youth football team, led by head coach Sean Whitman, assistant coaches Greg Bodur, Daniel Lazon, Edward Phillips, and Patrick Rushton. Let's hear it for the Mites. And now we're going to welcome our Pee-wees, led by head coach Dean Malachino, Joe Iacobucci, Kalanjo Kabongo, Melba Kabongo, Brian Kallenberg, Lou Maturin, Dan Nolan, and Pat Sadrosny. And finally, please welcome onto Memorial Field the future of Abington Green Wave football, our midget football team, led by Coach Scott Pfeiffer, assistant coaches Mike Clark, Greg Lopez, Mark Hillmain, Dan Salt, and Jim Iannizzi. Let's hear it, the midgets.
Run through all of the girls right now.
So this is all I got right here.
Yeah, run right through it quickly. They get knocked.
We would like to welcome all of our youth football cheerleaders to tonight's game, who will all be joining our high school cheerleaders during tonight's game and for a special halftime cheer. Please join me with a round of applause for our Mighty Mite cheerleaders, led by Emily LaPointe and Allison Magnuson. Our Mites cheerleaders and their coaches, Emily LaPointe, Liv McNeil, Avery Faulkner, and Leela Oppenheim. Our Pee-wee cheerleaders and their coaches, Abigail Miller and Jocelyn Healy. And our midget cheerleaders, who are led by many parent volunteers. Thank you to all of our youth sports coaches and parent volunteers for helping to make our youth sports program so successful and enjoyable for so many Abington children.
Just welcome Rockland and then get Abington down the field and do the other stuff after that.
Fans, please join me in welcoming our crosstown rivals, the Rockland Bulldogs, to Memorial Field for tonight's game. The Bulldogs are led by head coach Nick LaQuarrie, assistant coaches Chuck McDonald, Freddie Damon, Mike Doyle, Peter Harrison, Wayne Leander, Tom McSweeney, and Matt Anadlone.
Good. Don't even do the rest of them.
We ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, fans, I would ask you to rise and direct your attention to the center aisle of Memorial Field Grandstand and join me as we welcome number 52, Captain Connor O'Donnell, number 54, Captain Alex Mellon, number 87, Connor Peace, and the rest of our Green Wave football team onto Memorial Field for tonight's game. The Green Wave coaching staff is lit in its 50th year by head coach Jim Kelleher, offensive coordinator Eddie Riley, defensive coordinator Jim Daly. Our assistant coaches Scott Byford, Dave Lyons, Mike Bruning, Jason Brown, Melba Kabongi, Tom Shepard, Keith Faxon, and Kalonji of Cabondro. Athletic Director Pete Sereno, Superintendent Peter Schaefer, High School Principal Jonathan Bourne. Athletic Trainer Alicia Reed, camera crew for tonight's game, Kevin Pachi, Ian Deming, and Dave Owen on the camera. Broadcasting tonight's game on local cable access are the Abington alumni dynamic duo, Sean Riley, class of 82, and Kevin Whalen, class of 79. The chain gang for tonight's game are Steve Wakeland, Adam Nash, Bob Van Luling.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the War on the Shore. The Abington Green Wave against the Rockland Bulldogs here on Friday the 13th at Memorial Field. My name is Sean Riley. With me tonight, of course, is Kevin Whalen. We're back from a excursion last week. We had ESPN contract took us away from the Green Wave, but we are back here ready for a great game against two rivals that know each other very well, Calvin. Abington comes into the game 4-1, Rockland 5-0. What do you expect?
You know, I expect a tough physical game here tonight, Sean. I think, the most important thing for the Green Wave is hold on to the ball. Make sure that you treat every possession as important as it is. The other thing is, too, for the Green Wave, the last 4 years, I think they've really had trouble finishing in the red zone against Rockland.
Yeah.
Been able to move the ball fairly effectively up and down the field, but have not been able to get it in the end zone consistently. So tonight, I think, the big key for the Green Wave is to finish those drives. And I think, you look at the Rockland side, pretty impressive, graduating 17 seniors last year, then coming back this year, once again, after having a good 2-year run there, coming back and definitely doing a great job with the, coming back and having a 5-0 season start. So obviously Jordan DePina is their player, and we're looking forward to seeing him tonight. Seems like a great player.
Yeah, DePina's number 2. He's a quarterback. He can throw, but more importantly, he can run. He's a very good athlete. You're going to probably hear a lot of number 2's number being called. Also look out there in the captains, number 4, Taryn Williams, number 31, Joe Earners, a big, strong, sturdy fullback, and Giovanni Coronel, number 51. Rockland won the toss and going to defer. You can see the Abington captains out there, Connor Pease, number 87, number 54, Alex Mullen, and number 52, Connor O'Donnell. Green Wave will be receiving the kickoff to open up this game, the 2023 edition of one of our favorite games of the season, always.
Always mark the calendar for this mid-season rivalry, and looking forward to a great game.
The historians know that obviously this is Jim Kelleher's 50th year coaching as the varsity head coach here at Abington High School. The first game he coached as the head coach of the Green Wave football team was against the Rockland Bulldogs. This will be his final game to coach against the Rockland Bulldogs, unless we see him in the playoffs. But the last game we'll see in the regular season, Green Wave versus the Bulldogs. The Abington Green Wave band will be playing the national anthem in just a second, so we will be pausing to let that play out, and we'll be rejoining you after the anthem.
Fans, please stand. Remove your hats. Enjoying the Abington High School Band under the direction of Mr. Tim Leonelli as we honor America with the playing of a national anthem.
Thank you for the Abington High School marching band.
Let's get ready to rumble, sports fans. It is a beautiful night, about 55 degrees here at Abington's Memorial Field.
Prior to the start of tonight's game.
Kevin, huge crowd already in here. That welcome of the Green Wave fans, Green Wave team coming down the stands was impressive, with all the youth football players, all the youth cheerleaders, and the varsity cheerleaders down there. The fans really trying to whoop it up, get them ready for what should be a pretty tough battle.
Yeah, it should be a good game, Sean. I think, Depina's really, I think, that if they can stop Depina, they're going to stop the Bulldogs. Last year they really had a three different players that were a big threat. They had Coldstring, they had another earner, and then there was another player. So they really had, a triple threat last year, and now this year they have Depina. So let's see what the Green Wave can do defensively, and hopefully they can get clicking offensively. It's important, like we said, we saw in Norwell where, drives were every drive was 7 or 8 minutes, even on the Green Wave side, but the Green Wave really wasn't finishing. I mean, if you look back at that game, it was really about 6 or 7 plays that really made the difference in that ball game.
Really, and it was, a couple of that where we had Norwell pinned, and then they had a big play to get out of it, and they had a 3rd down and 12 in their own 2-yard line, Norwell did, and got a 40-yard pass to get out of what should have been a punt from their own end zone.
Right. The most important thing, don't turn over, finish drives. Make sure you get those points on the board. So looking forward to a good game, good clean game by the Green Wave tonight.
Kicking off is going to be Jacob Common, really another good kicker from Rockland. A line drive kick going to be caught right at the 37 and going to be just snagged out of the air by, that was number 3, Ryan Simonetti, I believe, right? Yep, it was.
They call that he had his knee down.
Good to see Simonetti back there out in the field. He had the week off last week with an injury, but he's back and ready to do action.
So pick it up at the 39.
So all going to be about ball control, minimizing penalties, and, of course, eliminating turnovers.
Well, and I think big plays, too, right?
Yep.
From the defensive side of the ball.
First and 10, Abington.
I think Pease is going to be an important piece to tonight's game, Sean.
Maxwell out wide to the near side with LeBlanc in the slot. Pease is on the left side wing. They're going to give a little interruption in the backfield. Going to be a loss of the play. Tackle by number 31, Joe Werner.
Able to shoot the gap in there and get a 2-yard loss.
Looked like there was a little bit of a miscue in the backfield there between the quarterback and the running back. Loss of 2, make it 2nd and 12.
I do think, Sean, one of the things, too, looking at, Pease and kind of one of the things the Bulldogs do is kind of play off the line of scrimmage when you go back in pass coverage. And I think they're always kind of back about, 10 or 15 yards. Having Pease being able to go underneath that and pick up some yardage there, I think I'm looking forward to seeing some of that tonight.
High backfield now for the Green Wave. They pitch, coming to the near side. That's number 2, that's Salamini. Salamini trying to turn it up, cuts it back. Nice job by Salamini, getting 7-8 yards on that carry, bring up a 3rd down in about 3 or 4.
Nice drive nice run in there by the Green Wave.
Good blocking ahead of there. You can see McSherry coming out of the pile, LeBlanc. Also, number 54, Alex Mullen.
Maybe give him a 7-yard pickup. Makes it 3rd and about 3 for the Green Wave.
Right here in front of me. I want to thank Kevin Tachi and Ian were helping out pregame, trying to make sure the live stream was up.
And Dave is upstairs, so doing the eye in the sky there. Thank you all for everything you do for the Green Wave Sports.
Tommy Dion is doing the public address announcing this week, as Chris Nagel couldn't join us.
Pulled him out of retirement.
3rd and 3, Riley under center. Going to give to Salamini, gets a big hole on the left side. Salamini over the 50 down to the 45-yard line of the Bulldogs. Great bit of blocking there on the left side.
And that's a huge play. Nice hole there by the Green Wave. Nice quick hit by Salamini to pick up that 1st down, get into Bulldog territory.
Line of scrimmage, controlling line of scrimmage is going to be huge in this game. As it's most games. I mean, kind of stating some of the obvious, but at ball control, both teams would rather run if they could. And we'll see if that comes to fruition for either team. Riley gives quick hitter in the middle to AJ. AJ Nash over the 35.
Another 1st down.
Yeah, he got the first. He got picked up about 11 on the play.
Yeah, and I like that quick hitter. I mean, we've seen so many times when the Green Waves had successful teams able to execute that play right over the right side of the center there and just being able to shoot right up that gap. Nice quick hitter. Good job by the Green Wave offensive line.
The big senior fullback, AJ Nash, picking up 11 now with the ball at the 33-yard line of the Bulldogs. Bulldogs are in their white away jerseys. Green Wave, of course, home green and green. It's like LeBlanc and Nash in the backfield. They give to LeBlanc right side. LeBlanc cuts it back inside. LeBlanc dives inside the 25-yard line. Another nice pickup of about 9 on the play.
Well, nice job of blocking up there up front. You had big number 76, Bodie Johnson. Of course, number 54 as well was up there, Alex Mullen. So nice job out there. Really opened up a huge hole there. And, this is a great pickup on first down, 9 yards. It just makes it so much easier when you're doing 2nd and 1, Sean.
Good to see LeBlanc. LeBlanc came to the sideline all pumped up. He is wound up for this game. That's the guy you want on your side. So 2nd and a short one now. Look, Maxwell out wide to the far side. Solomini and A.J. Nash in the backfield with Simonetti on the left side wing. Riley's going to give to A.J. right up the middle. He's going to get the first down. Yep, picked up about 3 on the play where he needed 1.
Nice second effort there, just keeping the legs going and kind of stopped right before the line of scrimmage there, or definitely before the first down marker. Been able to lunge forward to get that first down.
So ball now marked at the 22, and Steve Wakeland and company are going to move the stakes. Steve McGuire down there, Bob Van Luling.
We also got Jake, number 73, Jake McSherry out there. You got Wojciechowski out there as well. Nice job up front there by the Green Wave.
1st and 10 for Abington, moving the ball downfield. Again, over to the left side this time. It's Solomini, breaks a couple of tackles and gets it up to the 20-yard line. Pick up 2 the hard way.
Yeah, they get able to get his shirt there. He would have probably got a few more yards if he didn't get that shirt full of his Solomini. Nice job, though. Nice pickup.
2nd and 8 coming up for Abington. Michael Riley gets the play selection with just under 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. This is the opening drive of the game.
We're talking, Sean. I mean, this is exactly what we're talking about. Great, long, sustained drives. I mean, you just got to finish these.
A.J. Nash lined up right behind Riley with Simonetti offset to the left. Give to Simonetti, quick hitter. Simonetti on his feet inside the 15-yard line.
A nice 7-yard pickup there.
Yeah, it'll be bring up
3rd
and 2.
Right. Once again, that just nice quick hit, boom, right over the guard in that instance, and able to push that for about 7-yard pickup.
Maybe about 3rd and 3, just under 3 yards to go. Abington would like to keep moving this ball northbound on Memorial Field. Mike Riley shares the play selection, again with Simonetti and A.J. Nash in the backfield. Maxwell out wide to the near side. Riley puts LeBlanc in motion to give over to the left side. Nice stutter step by A.J. Nash. Pushes forward. You may get that with that extra effort. He got it down to the 12.
It's going to be close. That's going to be right there.
The far side, the head linesman is saying it's just short. We'll see where they mark it or if they measure it. No, geez, that looks like it's...
Oh, he's like, oh, geez, he made him move it back. Oh, my God.
Yeah, the guys... The umpire and everyone had it as a first down, and they just moved it back half a ball. So it's 4th and half of a ball just outside the 12-yard line.
I don't think I've ever seen that, where he instructs them to move it back.
4th and a little less than a yard.
See what the Green Wave do here. They got 3 men in the backfield. Simonetti, Nash, and LeBlanc left to right across the television screen behind Riley. Mike Riley's going to give right side Nash. Nash got a hole. He's inside the... Oh, no. Sorry. I went with the fake.
Solomini.
And it was tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Simonetti, number 3.
So it's going to be a turnover on downs, unfortunately, for the Green Wave at the 15 or so, 14. So Rockland comes up with a big play there.
Green Wave, 6 minutes off the board, but for not, you got to finish those, Sean. And I think that's the type of thing where you're not going to get a ton of touches, so you need to take advantage of that. And I think one of the things too is that Green Wave kind of stayed in the tackles there. They had a lot of success kind of going outside. Maybe in the future they'll be able to do that, push the ball outside in some of those short situations.
Shotgun handoff up the middle, a pickup of like 2 on the play. DePina, number 2, handed it off to Joe Erner, number 31, the fullback. Both of them are captains of this team, as we mentioned earlier before the game. Coach Chuck McDonald, the offensive coordinator, gives the play selection to his senior quarterback.
They got to hand it Nick LaQuarrie, the coach for Rockland, and his assistants have done a great job over the last 4 or 5 years. They've had very solid teams every year.
Rockland trying to spread it out with 2 wideouts again to the near side, 1 to the far side. Man in motion. DePina is going to take it. He's going to run it himself. Trying to do a little student body right with some blockers. Gets it over the 20. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds after picking up the first down crossing over the 25 up to about the 27.
Yeah, and right there, the Green Wave player kind of took the bait going inside. If your responsibility is on the outside, you have to stay there. There's going to be help coming on into the inside.
I was talking to one of the coaches before the game. They said, listen, a guy like DePina is going to break a run here and there. He's going to have a 20 or 30-yard run, or even a 40-yard run. Doesn't matter. Get back in the huddle and play the next play because we can overpower them if they play their game. We'll see what happens. Again, they send Boner and Williams out wide to the near side. Number 7, White, out to the far side. DePina gives to Erner. Erner up the middle, stood up, and then going to be stopped. Maybe a peck about 1 on the play.
31, not much here. Big number.
About a yard.
87, corner piece.
So it'll be 2nd and 9. Talking to the Rockland coaches before, I said, what should I expect to be? Whose name? He said, DePina.
Yeah, well, I think, everyone knew that kind of coming into the year, that it was going to be his team, and he certainly has delivered, the first 5 games.
Not a big guy, but a real quick, athletic kid. He's a strong kid. So he's a threat at all times, and he can throw the ball when needed. So now they go trips to the far side of the field on 2nd and long. DePina in the backfield with a running back to his left. And we got flags on the play. Somebody moved.
Flag on the field.
Well, that's definitely a
referee Hobson.
That was definitely a gift to Green Wave because they looked like they were a little discombobulated there on defense. They weren't set before the play.
There'll be a 5-yard penalty to make it 2nd and 14 now.
Well, and this is when the Green Wave has to step on defensively. Like we saw that in Norwell where they kind of gave up some of the big plays there. When they got them back there. You get a negative play like that or a mistake, you need to take advantage of that and push them back.
So the ball's at the 24 now, 2nd and long. A little confusion in the huddle for the Bulldogs. Now they break it out. And again, they go with 3 wide receivers to the far side of the field. DePina and Erner in the backfield. DePina looking to throw, now tucks it. Now he's looking again out and tries to flare it out and connects. Nice tackle. Block. Beautiful hit there by LeBlanc. Just timed that beautifully. As number 4, Terran Williams went up for it.
I don't think you can block downfield. Like they were blocking downfield prior to the ball when the ball was in the air. Yeah. I don't believe you can do that.
No, you can't. That could be a penalty.
That should be a penalty. He was blocking downfield.
So 3rd down from the 31. They got to get it up over the 38 for the first.
The Abington player did a great job kind of eluding that block and kind of coming up and making the hit.
31 for the Bulldogs.
2 wide outs to the near side, 1 to the far side. A shotgun for DePina. DePina going to run it. Going to get stutter step. He's going to break away. And he's going to be tripped up, though.
Nice play.
Big play.
Is that Nash? No, number 11. Duggan.
That's Duggan again.
Duggan, number 11 for the Green Wave.
He makes plays. He makes plays.
Makes it 4th and 3. Oh, wow. He gave him a pretty good spot. 4th and 3.
At their own 35-yard line.
4th and 12 from the 35 of Abington.
Here's a replay.
It looks like they're going to go for it.
You're going to watch. Look at Duggan just coming from the far side of the field and making the nice tackle against a very, very talented quarterback. 4th and 3.
Nice job of coming up by Duggan.
They do line up to go for it. Coach LaQuarrie throwing down the gauntlet early in the game with 2:45 to go. DePina in shotgun.
Oh, that's a penalty by Green Wave.
I don't know. No flag. He didn't break the plane. He's trying to get around the corner. He does get around the corner over the 45 up to 50. It's going to be a 1st down for the Bulldogs. They rely on their go-to kid. You can see the speed of DePina.
Absolutely. He got that edge, and once he got that edge, was able to, make a big play out of it.
I think Connor Pease was trying to draw the offense offside. And you can see the replay now as DePina is just following the blocks. Good block out there on the edge.
Pease just couldn't get there before he cut the edge.
So ball at the 47 now. 2.5 to go here. This is the first drive by Rockland after Abington turned the ball over down near their own 12, near the Rockland 12. 1st and 10, looking to throw. Big pressure. DePina steps out of it. Looking to throw. Comes down, falls incomplete. For 2nd and 10.
Good coverage, good pressure by the Green Wave. And you really almost have to have someone spy on him, Sean, when he rolls out to that right side. You need someone in the defense just looking to see whether he's going to keep it or tuck it and run it, because obviously he can do both when he gets out into that either flat.
He's got a real quick release when he throws the ball. Just kind of throws it from his shoulder, relatively accurately too. So 2nd and 10, right in front of you there at the 47-yard line. 2 wideouts to the far side. Once again, number 3 and number 4. And on the near side, number 7. That's Boner, Williams, and, well, we're going to get the ball moving. Good stop there by the Green Wave.
Nice stop, only a 2-yard pickup, makes it a 3rd and 8.
31. Joe Erner.
Well, if you're going for it on the 4th and, 3 from your own 35, you're pretty much going for it all night long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say so. I
can't imagine.
They got the faith in DePina, but
maybe if it was 4th and 6 or 7, maybe you wouldn't, but
Was good for 2-3 yards. Looks like a
so
ball's at the Rockland 49 with just under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
Abington would like to make this a 4th and long situation. Yeah, they got 3 wideouts to the near side. Again, number 3, Tyler Boner, Tyron Williams, number 4. I can't see the number of the other one, but it's probably number 7, Don White.
Taking a long time.
With a shotgun. Looking to throw. Rolling. And he turns it up and he gets hit. Nice tackle.
He's going to get the first.
We'll see where they mark the forward. No, he's not giving him the first.
He did. I think, well, no, they're not over there.
No.
Wow.
He's going to be a yard short. It's going to be another 4th and 1. At the 44 of the Green Wave.
Yeah, so it is going to be 4th and 1. I think the Green Wave caught a little bit of a break there, Sean. It looked like he was up a little bit further.
Yeah.
He had a little bit more forward progress, but, an immediate hit by the Green Wave defense kind of pushed him back.
So, 4th and 1 at the Green Wave 44. It's coming down to the 1-minute mark. No score in this game. The opening stanza. Abington a long drive. Now Rockland trying to sustain another drive of their own.
Now these are the big plays, right? We're talking about you got to make, right? And get the play, get the turnover on downs.
So do they give it to Erna, number 31 in the backfield? Or does DePina keep it from the shotgun position? And flag down. Whistle's blown as Green Wave call it timeout.
43 seconds to go in the first quarter. Little gamesmanship here by both sides.
Fans are reminded that at halftime, the Green Wave Boosters will be doing the ever-popular...
Huge crowd here because it's very convenient for the Rockland fans to get here, as it's just a short ride down North Avenue.
A few miles.
And obviously Green Wave Nation always travels very well, and they always show up for the home games here at Memorial Field. A lot of history here on this gridiron, and a lot of it was taken part or was witnessed by or partaken by Jim Keller.
So when did Rockland succeed? 1870s-ish?
It was that 1874?
1874 2-ish?
1874. Yep. That's actually the phone number for their town hall. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Right there.
Is that coincidence or
No.
no?
It was, yeah, of all the numbers they picked out, it happened to be the same number.
Well, you never know. It might have been all that's been available.
All right, 43 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 4th and 1 at the Abington 44. Again, they try to spread it out. They send a wide out to the far side, 2 wide outs to the near side. Shotgun for DePina. Green Wave showing blitz. They come up. DePina steps outside, gets the first down, and steps out of bounds. Nice bit of movement, and Green Wave had some good pressure coming in on him, but he was able to sidestep the initial surge.
Well, he's tough for the defense, too, because he tight ropes there, and it's like whether he's going out of bounds or not. And you're probably going to see a penalty or two tonight for late hits because, he's able to kind of almost bait people into it.
So they move it to the 37. Continue to move it. Rockland has had 2. They've actually been behind, I believe, in the fourth quarter, the last 2 games, if not more of them, and came behind to win.
The thing is, Sean, he always kind of dekes inside and then bounces outside.
Yep.
So the outside guys have to be disciplined, stay out there and hold their ground.
1st and 10 now for Rockland. Fresh set of downs. They give to number 4 and going to be tackled as he gets about a 2 or 3 yard pickup. And that was Tyron Williams.
Right at the 35.
Another senior running back for the Bulldogs.
It's probably the last play of the quarter.
20 seconds and rolling.
It is the last play of the quarter here.
It is. They've got to take a breather.
It's a pretty quick quarter. Both teams on the ground here.
Hey, if you're listening to the live stream tonight, I want to remind you, tomorrow morning on Saturday, October 14th, 9 a.m., we have a special town meeting at the Abington High School Auditorium. Only 5 articles. It should be a rather quick town meeting if you're listening live. If you're listening to this on delay, never mind. It's already passed.
But if you're listening live, too, you got the booster door-to-door drive is on Sunday, right?
That's right. This Sunday coming up, October 15th, from between 11 and 1 p.m., October 15th, the Boosters will be driving student-athletes around all the neighborhoods in Abington. They'll be knocking on your door asking for any donation, $5, $25, $10, whatever you can make. Cash or check will be accepted, and if you're not home, they'll leave you an envelope where you can mail in a donation to the Boosters. It's their largest fundraiser each year. All the money goes to support all of the sports teams and sports programs here at Abington High School. So we appreciate your continued generosity and your support for the Abington Greenway Boosters.
Lehman, Taylor, Dearbrown.
All righty, so we're going to reverse direction here as we start the second quarter. Rockland trying to continue their drive here at the Abington 35. It's going to be a second and...
About 2nd and 7?
Yeah, 2nd and 7.5, 2nd and 8. The chain gang is all set up on the far side of the field. Now, interestingly enough, Erna is not in the backfield right now. Again, they've got Williams in the backfield with DePina.
Yep, number 4.
They fake the handoff, and DePina heads up the middle. Is only going to pick up maybe 1 or 2 on the play. They'll bring up a 3rd down.
Pease was coming in from that right side, coming back to his DePina, so he had nowhere to cut back to.
Here comes
Nice
Erna
job
back
by
into the game, too.
Nice job by the Green Wave there, defense. Creating a 3rd and about 6.
This is how many times have we seen 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7,
I know.
3rd and 8 here already?
I mean, this is almost a 7-minute drive at this point, so...
Yeah, they started at the 6:03 mark in the first quarter.
We're talking like every possession is going to be so important when both teams are able to move the ball.
They break their huddle. Erner in the backfield with DePina. White out to the far side. 2 wideouts to the near side. DePina gives it to Erner, right side, gets hit immediately.
Another 4th down.
Ball. Oh, no, he tried to break away. I thought the ball was just the way the commotion broke out.
But he actually lost yardage there based on the spot, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and 8. 3rd and 7. 4th and 8, rather.
They move him, where they moved him to the 34.
34, so it's about 7 yards. 4th and about 7.
4th and 6 for the Bulldogs.
So this is going to be the 3rd 4th down attempt
on this drive.
Yeah.
Well, the Green Wave needs to come up big here.
Let's go Green Wave. Similar formation. Erner in the backfield with DePina. 2 wideouts to the far side, trying to stretch out the Green Wave defense. They motion to the near side. DePina looking to throw, 4th and long. Rolling right. Has to put it up in the air.
Alley-oop.
And it's going to be knocked away. Nice job. Good defensive play.
That could have almost been offensive interference.
That was Michael Riley. Smart heads-up play by Riley. He didn't even go for the interception. Right. Just trying to knock the ball away because he'd rather have the possession.
He had good body position on him. Was able to read the ball, and that was a tough ball too because they both got kind of turned around from where they were running before. So Riley was able to get body position on him, have the inside, and just kind of slowed it up, and was able to really defend that ball well. Nice job by the Green Wave.
Here's the instant replay. You can see DePina looking left, and then just as he's about to get hit, he just lofts one up, trying to make something happen in the end zone. Going downfield for his receiver, Terran Williams, but Michael Riley, the safety, was on him like a glove.
Good pressure over there by the Green Wave D to make him throw that ball earlier than he wanted to.
All right, from the Abington now 34-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Green Wave. Coming at you is LeBlanc, I believe.
That's
Simonetti. Oh, ball's in the air. It's grabbed out of the air by, who's the lucky lineman?
I think it might have been Pease.
I think it was, too.
It was Pease.
It was Connor Pease who grabbed that one out of the air.
How Green Wave drew that up, Sean.
Yeah. The hook and pitch.
Obviously, someone was ball hawking and was able to get that out.
They used the hook and pitch last week for a touchdown. Riley to Pease to A.J. Nash for a 52-yard touchdown at the end of the first half. 2nd and 2 as a pickup of 8 on the play.
Well, Pease is a nice big target for the Green Wave.
Adam breaks the huddle with A.J. Nash, the sole running back in the backfield. Solimini on the near side wing. Simonetti far side. In motion, Simonetti giving to A.J. A.J. up the middle. A.J. up to the 49-yard line with a nice quick hitter. Good job of the offensive line.
Absolutely. That's exactly another 6-7 yard pickup right there. The Green Wave is doing well on the ground, Sean, and this is a good example here. We're coming down to 9 minutes to go here in this first half. And Rockland, potentially could get the ball back if the Green Wave continues this type of pace here. Almost only a couple of minutes left. So the Rockland's only going to have probably 2 touches on the ball this whole half.
Or maybe 1 if the Green Wave just uses the next 9 minutes. We'll see what happens. Again, Nash in the backfield behind Riley. Long count. They put Salamini in motion to give the Nash up the middle.
Quick hit.
Nash going to be stopped as he crosses over midfield. Pick up of 2 or 3?
Yeah, 2 maybe.
Up the middle by number
Maybe 3.
Yeah, good job by A.J. Nash. He's a senior leader in that backfield.
Rockland starts to kind of, get down on a little bit more, tighten up on that inside, try to take that away from the Green Wave.
Looks like that's a 2.
Bloody nose football out there between these two teams.
Absolutely. And I think, Sean, now that you're over the 50, the Green Wave is definitely going to be going for it on 4th down as well to extend the drive.
Maxwell out wide to the near side. Salamini in the slot. Nash is in the backfield again behind Riley. Simonetti in motion to the near side. Little bubble screen to Maxwell. Maxwell's got some blockers.
He's outside, nice.
Outside. And the ball is loose.
Oh.
And it's going to be recovered by the Bulldogs on the 38-yard line. A turnover for the Green Wave. Tough break there. A well-orchestrated play, but a turnover.
Now he had the 1st down.
Here's the replay of that one. Little bubble screen. Watch the near side. The receiver at the bottom of the screen is going to step back, get the throw.
It's a lateral, too.
And then just gets it popped out there as he's going down. And they'll take over at the 39-yard line with 7:58 on the clock. So now Rockland's going to try to do the same thing and take time off the clock. Three men to the right of DePina. Actually, 4. DePina's going to run with it, looking for a hole. It gets up to the line of scrimmage and then falls forward to pick up about 2 or 3.
Nice job of Green Wave out there. I think it was, I couldn't see who the tackle was. I think 45 there was for the Green Wave.
Tikhonov
was in there for that tackle. Picks up about 3.
Andrew Kerr, number 51, out there for the Green Wave. You can see Ryan LaRosa, number 62, out there. LeBlanc on the far side in the corner, number 6. You got Connor O'Donnell out there. Couple of boys in green doing their best for the Green Wave Nation. Now 2nd down. 2 wideouts on the near side. DePina now with 2 backs with him. They're going to give to the right side up to Erna, but this Connor Pease jumps on his back. Ball's on the ground.
Green Wave says
they got it.
Oh, the guy's calling it down.
Oh, no.
That side, that guy. Oh.
Ball at the 45. Michael Riley was trying to say that was a fumble. Green Wave are on it, but it'll bring up 3rd down and 4 now at the 45 of the Bulldogs. Here's a replay coming at you. We'll see if we
can see it
any clearer. Erna gets hit by Connor
He was
Pease.
bobbling that ball like right in the handoff. And Riley was calling that well before that he was down.
Yeah.
Wow.
3rd and 4. They stack it up on the right side for DePina. 1 man on the near side. DePina is going to roll to the right.
He's holding. Jeez. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, he gets knocked out of bounds. I think he's going to be short once again for another 4th down situation.
Number 7 over that side. Like, there was a hold for he held him longer than an Irishman holds a grudge, Sean. Let me just put it that way. It was pretty egregious.
Bring the ball back. There you go. Okay.
So it's going to be 4th and about 1?
Yeah, about 1.5 from just inside the 48.
As a defense, you do have to be careful too, Sean, not to pinch it in so much.
Yeah.
That you just focus so much on trying to stop that 1-yard gain that you don't give up the big play.
Right, because do they use Erner as a fullback to try to just dive between the tackles? Or
do you try to have Pina pop it out when everyone's trying to focus on the inside?
Or do you
go trips right?
Or do they throw the ball as they did last time? DePina's going to take it to the right side. Steps up.
Nothing doing.
And the Green Wave.
Oh, Green Wave ball.
Huge
great D there by the Green Wave. And it looks like Duggan was there, a part of that, of course. Number 11 for the Green Wave. Huge play.
Jonathan Shaw, hot coming out of the tile. Andrew Kerr. A lot of green shirts there with a great stop by the Abington defense there in the midfield area.
Well, the Green Wave kind of...
There's a replay coming up for you guys at home. You can see the hit.
Night 2 was that first. Someone came in. I don't know if that was... Oh, that was 45. Tikhonov was, I think, the first one in there, got him wrapped up around the shoulders, and then he had help coming on down low.
So the ball at the 47 now of Rockland. 5:35 on the clock. Abington with a tight formation. Double wings. They put Simonetti in motion. They tossed him coming around the right side.
Got some
student
room
body
there.
right. Got some green shirts in front of him. Simonetti looking for that hole. Cuts it up and dives forward towards the 40-yard line.
Nice 6-yard pickup there by the Green Wave on the first down. Great blocking. They had a huge wall there by the Green Wave.
Yeah, Rockland did a pretty good job of trying to stretch it out, too. I'll give them credit for that. But a good pickup of 5 on the first down play. Pick up a 6 on the first down play.
Yeah, the Green Wave did a nice job, as you said, though, Sean, creating that wall, but they did stretch it out a little bit, so he didn't get a huge pickup, but we'll take 6 yards on first down every time.
What a great first half of football here. Both teams just marching it back and forth downfield, and the defensive's coming up when they need to.
Defense is bending but not breaking.
Yeah. Maxwell out wide to the far side with single coverage. Riley under center. Made a motion. It's a little counter play underneath to Solomini. Oh, nice cut inside by Solomini. What a play by Solomini there. He cut it inside the tackle, went southbound on Memorial Field and got that first down, moved the stakes.
That's the first counter I've seen in quite a while by the Green Wave there, and that used to be one of their bread and butter plays. You know, kind of faking, getting everybody flowing to the left side and then coming back on the right side.
Taken down by number 54.
Solomini, number 2, is impressive for a sophomore.
First and 10.
First and 10 for the Green Wave at the 36-yard line. Solomini in motion, gets the ball going to the left side, cuts it
Nice
back.
cut. What a cut. What a play.
25,
Goody.
20,
Willie.
15, the 10, down to the 5-yard line.
Woo, what a run. What a run by Solomini.
Ryan Solomini, the sophomore, is on fire tonight here in the first half.
Let's say the blocking up front, though. They
Yes.
gave him that initial hole, and I'll tell you the last 30 yards were all him, though.
Taken down by number 4, Terrence Williams.
Here comes the replay. Watch the blocking here by the Green Wave.
A huge hole there. Look at how the pile just got pushed over on that left side. And then
jumped
Solomini
over.
just hurdles him. Track coach is salivating over that, Sean.
Touchdown saving tackle.
First and 10 from the 5 for Abington.
First and goal from the 5-yard line. Solomini in motion. Riley gives to A.J. Nash. Nash stutter step. Dives forward.
Touchdown!
Yes.
Touchdown, man of Muskegon!
A 5-yard touchdown run by A.J. Nash.
Woo.
And the Green Wave are on the board first here in this thriller of the first half.
Back and forth. Only 3:30 to go here in the second quarter.
A.J. Nash on a 5-yard scamper.
That is going to be Nash's 5th touchdown of the year. I mentioned he scored one last game on the I'm sorry, I was reading where this. Yeah, it is his 5th touchdown. The last week was
That looks
that
good.
pass. And it is good. With the kick.
Nice job by the Green Wave there. You know, really, after that big stop on 4th and 1.
With 3:30 left in the
What a great first half this far. We've seen.
I mean, and it really hasn't been a lot of passing. It's been,
No.
90% of it's been on the ground, and both teams have just been really battling it out and being able to move the other team. And it's just been, bend but don't break on the defense. And the Green Wave was able to finally break through after Solomini's big run there.
I was just going to say, don't forget that Solomini set that one up with, of course, the offensive line set up Solomini. But great teamwork there, getting it down to the 5, and then one play to get it in the end zone.
That definitely is a highlight film because you saw the offensive line just push the whole left side of Rockland almost over into the rail trail over there on Monroe Street, Sean.
A 47-yard drive for the Green Wave after they stopped the Bulldogs on their 4th down conversion.
7 with Storm White back deep for the Bulldogs.
So Abington will be kicking off left to right. White will be back deep, the sole man back. That's Dom White is standing on his own 5. Abington getting set. 3:30 on the clock here left in the first half, a 7-0 Green Wave lead. Michael Riley, left-footed kicker, just squibs one down, bounces inside 30 to a nice charity hop at the 25 to DePina. DePina at the 30. DePina gets stood up, though.
Oh, Max, nice job by number 18 for the Green Wave.
It's Maxwell.
Maxwell, nice job, just stood him up and was able to take it to him. I'll tell you, when I saw that ball going, I'm going, all right, anybody but number 2,
Yeah.
and the ball just magnet right to him.
Nice tackle there by Maxwell. Only really a 5-yard run back.
I know. I think DePina probably would have been better off just running it straight ahead. I mean, I know he probably the call was probably for that side, but that's a long way to go to get your blockers.
So with 3:20 on the clock, now we'll see if Rockland does try to go for the big play here to see if they can tie the game before the half, because Abington will be receiving the opening kickoff to start the second half.
No, Rockland will be.
I'm sorry, that's right. They defer. Rockland's going to be deferring.
Rockland will be. Yep.
Thanks, Kev. That's why you're here.
Exactly. Every once in a while.
DePina in shotgun. Hands off. In the backfield, trying to get around the near side is Erner. Erner, nice job there by Salamini, holding the corner, and then Duggan helps out, along with...
I'll tell you, Duggan is such a tough kid and such tenacity.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of got held up at the line of scrimmage. The guy had him blocked, but he didn't give up. Was able to break free, came back, and was able to get on the tackle before, became too much any damage there by the Rockland Bulldogs.
And Salamini really made that play happen because, as you mentioned earlier, he kind of held the corner and made the running back try to turn it back inside, and that's when Duggan was able to help Salamini
Exactly.
out.
It's good teamwork. You got to be able to trust that the other people are going to be disciplined in doing their job as well.
That's right. A pickup of only one now will be 2nd and 9. Boner out wide on the near side. 2 wide outs to the far side. Shotgun to DePina. DePina's going to roll with it. Now he's going to run with it. Trying to get around the end. He breaks free. He's going to get the first and then taken down. After the first down, nice bit of running there by the senior quarterback.
He almost
Jordan
got taken
DePina.
down in the backfield.
Yeah.
And the Rockland player hit one of the Greenway players, and it knocked out Duggan, too. I think Duggan might have been able to catch him before he really got going.
2:15 and rolling here with the ball now at the 42-yard line. This drive, again, started at their own 30 after the kickoff. 7-0 Green Wave lead here in the second quarter of the 2023 edition of the Abington Rockland game. Again, wideouts to each side. Camo is the near side wing. Looking to throw. Now DePina is going to be in trouble. Breaks away, looking to throw downfield, and he goes a short little button hook at about midfield. And they're saying,
It's incomplete. I think it's incomplete. Yeah, incomplete.
Great. They'll bring up 3rd and 10.
They only have 2nd and 10. It's 2nd and 10, John.
Sorry. I'm just getting down
Yeah,
ahead of myself.
wishful thinking.
I am.
So down to 1:40 here to go in the first half.
Woo, baby.
Bulldogs at their only 42. Green Wave up 7-0.
That incomplete pass did stop the clock. DePina looking over the Green Wave defense. Hands it off, trying to get around.
The hold! There he is. He's calling that.
All right.
That was like...
Yep. The flag is thrown as Williams gets taken down after he crossed over the 45-yard line. But they're going to move him back, I would think.
That might have been acceptable last week at homecoming, Sean.
Yeah.
But tonight, there's a little bit of a dance out there. I think that was a boom tick, the song, Sean, that they were dancing to.
Kevin sees the holds. So they're talking, the referee Hobson is talking to Ed Riley, the offensive coordinator, about the options. It'll be 2nd down, but they're going to move him back another 10 yards.
So it makes it 2nd and 20.
With 1.5 minutes to go. Green Wave now looking for an interception in this play. A little pick 6. Ball at the 33 now. Beautiful night here on Friday the 13th, 2023.
So it looks like it's 2nd and 19, right, John? That's what they... Oh, no.
Nope, 2nd and 20.
2nd and 20.
Yep. Ball at the 33.
Right before halftime, get your tickets for the booster bomb.
Erna checks back into the game. DePina comes in with the play selection from the sideline. White's going to line up to the far side. No, it looks like Boner's going to be out wide. White in the slot. Shotgun again for DePina. DePina's going to take it and run with it, trying to get up the middle. Now he's going to try to punch it outside. Trying to get around the corner, and he's going to be taken down.
Nice job, Salamini.
No, it's LeBlanc.
Was that LeBlanc, number 6?
LeBlanc, a great open field tackle.
That was a beautiful tackle out there by LeBlanc. Only about a 4-yard pickup, so he stays in bounds too, Sean. So that clock is ticking as we get down under 30 seconds here.
I tell you, I mean, they're doing a great job on the corners there of just kind of holding the block, the Rockland Bulldog blocker, and keeping their eyes on the running back.
And trying to disengage at that same time. And
shedding the block. 15 seconds and rolling. We'll see if Rockland wants to run a play here. They could call a timeout if they wanted to.
Maybe they're going to try to call like a...
They're gonna let the clock run and leave it enough for one play
It's kind of unusual strategy.
Or are they letting it roll out?
They're going to roll out. Wow.
What is that? Don't want to play?
No.
Wow.
They get the ball back in the second half.
I know, but why not?
They have they're obviously in a passing situation. They prefer to come out, with a clean set of downs and maybe decent field position. I know. I would have played a couple. You could have got a couple plays in there. You had all your timeouts.
So that'll be it for the first half. A great first half of football, and Abington gets the nod there, and the score is 7-0. But as Kevin mentioned, we will be kicking off to Rockland to start the second half.
From the Green Wave standpoint, Sean, I mean, really the only, the fumble in really not finishing that first drive. Other than that, it was just a very well clean game for the Green Wave. They just did a great job in that first half.
They did, and but can't dismiss Rockland in their second half. Abington wants to come out quick and give Rockland a 3-and-out and take that ball back and get back on the scoreboard. We're going to have a lot of halftime festivities here tonight. It's a huge crowd. We've got all the youth cheerleaders with the varsity cheerleaders out there at the field. They're going to do a joint cheer together. We also have the Abington High School band, and we'll have the booster bomb, the tennis ball throwing contest. And Kevin and I will take a break, and we'll be back with more second half action after the halftime festivities. All right, we are back for second half action. Just a quick recap. The Green Wave kicked off the Bulldogs kicked off to Abington to start the game. Abington moved it down to the Rockland 12 and was stopped on a 4th down and 1 conversion. Rockland then took the ball over, moved it all the way down to the Abington 34, threw a pass incomplete. Then Abington fumbled the ball at the Rockland 39. Rockland took the ball back, and they were stopped again on a 4th and 1 play right about midfield at the 48-yard line. And then Abington took it at that 48-yard line, 47-yard line, moved it downfield quickly, thanks to a big Solomini run, capped off with that 5-yard A.J. Nash touchdown. And here's the kickoff to start. The second half picked up at about the 17-yard line. Looks like that is
it. Number 4.
Nice tackle by Tikhonov.
Williams.
Taryn Williams.
Comes out to about the 37-yard line.
Good run back, about 20 yards. Tikhonov has really come alive this
He really has. Every game he gets a little bit better, a little bit more involved.
Yeah.
He's had some big plays.
So, fresh 12 minutes on the clock. Abington up 7-0 here to start the second half.
Well, Sean, as we were talking, before the half, it's like every possession is going to be so important, right? So it's going to be such a great thing if the Green Wave could stop them here, obviously, and go in and get a score, because then they'll put Rockland, in a position where they're going to have to do things that they don't want to do.
Give over the right side, the fullback. Yeah, good stuff.
That's a loss.
That was Joe Erner once again.
Yeah, about a 1-yard loss there.
Good push there by the Green Wave defensive line.
Yeah, great pursuit by the Green Wave on the sideline to sideline. They've been doing a very good job of stringing it out, not giving up the big play, but also stringing it out and kind of being able, as you said, like being able to release their blocks and then get in on the play as well as they string it out. So nice job by the Green Wave D.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, hope they can continue that in the second half here.
Want to thank WATD Radio, who's broadcasting this game live here from Memorial Field. Quinn and Bill are on the mics. Shotgun formation once again for DePina. Haven't seen him under center yet. High snap, he takes it. He's going to run it up over the right tackle, and he's going to be taken down after he picks up about 4 or 5. But it'll bring out another 3rd and long situation, which we've seen a lot for the Bulldogs.
3rd and 8 there for the Bulldogs. Yeah, so that was only about a 3-yard pickup. So maybe 7, 3rd and 7.
To 39.
It's funny, they have the marker right at the 39, but then they have the ball almost on the 40.
Yeah, so it's 3rd and 7 at the 39. Rockland breaks the huddle here. Green Wave like to get a 3-and-out right here. Watch DePina trying to tuck it under. DePina calling his cadence. Oh, flag thrown. Do we have a motion penalty? That's going to move him back 5 yards. Little. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty with 10:28 left here on the clock in the third quarter.
I think it was the center moving the ball is what he called him on.
Number 56, I believe they said it was, right? They usually don't say the number, but this referee actually does some college work, so I think he's
used to doing that.
Yeah. So now 3rd down from the 35. They've got to get 12 or more yards to get a first. Again, the shotgun. Erner in the backfield looking to throw. DePina, he's getting fleshed out. He's rolling to his right, still looking downfield. He's got some trouble. He steps around a man now, gets about a good chunk of change, about 7 yards or so. Falls down and gets as he gets to the
DePina's okay over there.
Sideline.
Kind of went down. Green Wave player helps him up.
Jonathan Sharp Hunt getting some credit with that tackle now. The ball at the 40, a 4th and 7 here, Kevin.
They're making a punt.
Yeah, the first punt of the game.
They're afraid, obviously, to give the Green Wave a short field.
So the Green Wave do get their 3 and out.
This is the first punt by either team so far this game, right? So both teams have gone for it or had long drives where they didn't have to do that.
And I believe it'll be number 12 kicking, which is Jacob Commons. Got a pretty good leg. Green Wave have 2 men back standing about their own 31-yard line. A little high snap, but Common comes down with it. Quick kick off the foot is going to be going right at Salamini, and a nice tackle immediately at the 31-yard line.
Good job by Salamini, though, picking that up, because that ball head was, going northbound, as you would say, Sean, and would have picked up probably another 5 or 10 yards. So
Will Carpine on the tackle there to get no return.
Green Wave will take over on the 30-yard line. And I think that's one of the things, it looked like they almost wanted to punch it down there, Sean, so they could get coverage down there. They didn't want to do a longer kick where the Green Wave might be able to, do their patented return. They must have patent rights on that right now, right? Trademark?
I think they do.
They must.
Ball in the 30, 1st and 10 for the Green Wave here in the third quarter. Their first possession of the second half with A.J. Nash and Ryan Simonetti in the backfield. Connor Pease is the right side, near side wing. They give to Simonetti. Simonetti looking for a hole. He's got some blockers in front of him. Simonetti still on his feet, driving forward over the 40. Simonetti gets the first down and more. They're trying to strip the ball from him, but Simonetti will not let go.
Nice 12-yard, 13-yard pickup by the Green Wave. Take that all day long.
Nice when you have that big number 87 guy in front of you.
Yeah, he just got hooked around on that corner there. He had his guy. He's not letting him go.
They give him a 14-yard pickup there for Simonetti. So the 2 Ryans, number 2 and 3, Salamini and Simonetti, are doing a great job for the Green Wave, as, of course, is A.J. Nash, always reliable. So 1st and 10. Nash and Salamini in the backfield. Salamini gets it going to the left side. Salamini over the line of scrimmage, still on his feet.
What a play. Jeez.
He's quick.
I know, he almost went down, was able to keep his feet, and just, boom, dotted onto the right side there. Picked up another 3 or 4 yards.
Picked up a total of 8 on that one. Bring up 2nd and a short 2 here for the Green Wave. Rockland bringing in some of their big boys in the middle.
Well, Green Wave continues to kind of attack the off tackle.
Yeah.
Kind of really pushing the Bulldogs, out right or left there, and then creating that seam off tackle.
Again, Nash and Simonetti in the backfield. It's Simonetti's turn this time on the right side. Cuts it up and gets the first down, dives forward.
23 cheated up there for the Bulldogs and was able to get in there and mix that up a little bit. That's Bayer. I don't know if he made the tackle there, but he was definitely able to kind of get his first down.
Yep.
That's all that counts.
Gets it up to the 46-yard line. Packed house here for the Green Wave. Sports fans on the near side.
Well, this is where, Sean, I think, the Green Wave has been so disciplined keeping it on the ground. This is where you might be able to, go deep, or go for it.
I say keep running it right.
I do too. I agree with you there.
Double the score. Take time off the clock. Riley under center is going to give quick hitter.
Hey, Nash
middle.
Oh, he keeps it going.
Away. Wow.
I know that was a nice 6-yard pickup there by Nash, and he got the nice roll there too on top of bodies to pick up another yard or two.
I tell you, these Green Wave running backs just feel like they have something to prove tonight, and they're doing a whale of a job with a nice 5-yard pickup.
53, Wally the store again on the tackle.
They're trying to reset the clock there. What?
Well, they moved it back a yard.
How do you make that determination?
Not sure, but they just did. So now it's at the 41. He's 2nd and 5. Again, 2 men in the backfield behind Riley's slot, right formation. LeBlanc in the slot. They give quick hitter on the left side.
Doesn't matter.
They go Simonetti. Simonetti inside the 20, stays on his feet in the 15. Simonetti down inside the 10-yard line, all the way down to the 8-yard line. 18-yard line. Ryan Simonetti, 10 yards ahead of myself.
I know it. Wishful thinking, but nice job by Simonetti. Great blocking once again by the Green Wave on that left side.
Abington right up on the ball.
Taking it to him. That's Jake over there. Jake McSherry, number 73, and number 54, Mullen.
Simonetti and A.J. Nash in the backfield. Give us to Simonetti right side. Simonetti with some
he's got some room.
Goes outside, cuts it back inside, and dives forward to pick up a couple extra yards. Rockland trying to ball tackle, too.
Picked up about, 5 or 6 there.
Just feeding the running backs. Simonetti got to take a well-deserved breather as Salamini checks back in, number 2.
And Green Wave, it's always great having a staple of running backs.
Yeah.
You've got the Nash brothers and then Salamini, Simonetti,
Second.
LeBlanc as well as in that mix too.
LeBlanc and Nash in the backfield. Salamini, the right side wing. Maxwell out far to the wide side. They give left side at Nash. Nash inside the 10, down to about the 9-yard line. Bodies flying downfield. Like to see it when the line is just continues to block. Yeah, downfield into the linebacker.
Classic Green Wave football here. They're dominating the line of scrimmage, pushing the pile.
Ball at the 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
Eating the clock.
6 minutes, 20 seconds and rolling. A 7-0 lead. It's the Green Wave's first possession of this first half. They got the ball at the 30-yard line after the Rockland 3-and-out punt. Maxwell out wide to the far side. Nash and Salamini in the backfield. LeBlanc is the slot. Pease is the right side tight end. Give a quick dive for Salamini. He's got the first down at the 6-yard line. Move the stakes once again. It'll be 1st and goal for the Green Wave.
Green Wave's just doing a great job of crashing down whatever side they're blocking to, either pushing them to the left or pushing them to the right and creating the holes for the line for the running backs. Just a great job up for those guys up front. You got Bodie Johnson, number 76 and 62 is LaRosa, Mullen, Jake McSherry, and 57 as well for the Green Wave is Wojciechowski.
Salamini and Nash in the backfield. Movement on the defensive line to give to Salamini left side. Salamini inside the 5. Just gets down to about the 2 or so.
Like the 2?
That's where they mark it. 2 or 3.
That kid has his own moves. We're talking about Tapina, but Salamini definitely can. He can juke. He can definitely move. It keeps his feet. Does a great job. Exciting run at number 2 for the Green Wave. Just coming up to 5 minutes here to go in this third quarter. Very fast-paced game.
Second and goal from the 3. Abington breaks their huddle. Again, A.J. Nash in the backfield with LeBlanc offset to his left. Salamini right side wing. In motion is Salamini. Oh, the fumble, and Riley dives on it, picks up about a yard doing so. It'll bring 3rd and goal from the 2.
There's a fumble on the exchange.
So Green Wave lucky to get that one.
3rd and 1. 3rd and goal from the 1.
But no gain.
Yeah, they mark it down about the 1. 3rd and goal from the 1. See if Green Wave can just power it in.
Well, that's what you hope, right? I mean, like 4:25 to go here in this third quarter as we come down. Especially with the way the Green Wave is moving the ball, and taking time off the clock. Rockland will not have many chances if they put this one in.
Nash and Simonetti in the backfield. Same lineup. Riley under center. Given to Simonetti right side.
He's got it.
Whoa.
Touchdown, man of Muskegon.
Simonetti from 1 yard out. Puts the Green Wave on the board once again. Picking up another 6. It's 13-0 on Friday the 13th.
Well, that was a great job by Simonetti, kind of reading what he needed. He only needed a yard. He had some good momentum. He just cut it up into the defense there. Was able to pick up that touchdown. Nice job. Touchdown, man of Muskegon.
You got it. Here's the replay. Watch number 3 offset to the left side in the backfield. He's going to just follow the blocks over the right side of the offensive line.
Just cuts it up. Look at that nice kick-out block there. Is that LaRosa, number 62 for the Green Wave?
No,
52. That was 52.
Yeah, that's Connor O'Donnell.
Connor O'Donnell in there.
And the kick is up and good. And the Green Wave double it up with 3:59 left to go here in the third quarter.
Statement game here by the Green Wave.
Well, it ain't over, but that's what they want to do. They want to show that we didn't play well against Norwell. We should have had a better result at Norwell. We want to see that we can take it to Rockland and really send a message to East Bridgewater and Middleborough, which are our next 2 games. Next week, we'll be traveling to East Bridgewater High School on October 20th, Friday night, playing the East Bridgewater Vikings. And the following weekend will be Friday, October 27th. That'll be a home game against the Middleborough Sachems. Every one of these games are league games. Are going to say a lot towards the league standings moving into the playoffs after the end of the regular season, which ends at the end of October.
So we get, you got to give it credit to the offensive line tonight. Connor Pease, who's the tight end, has been a huge part of that. But then you've got Bodie Johnson, Jake McSherry, number 73, Lion Rosa, also Steve Wojciechowski, Connor O'Donnell, and Alex Mullen have all been up front there and just doing a standout job there for the Green Wave tonight.
Green Wave will kick off from their own 40-yard line. Michael Riley will do the kickoff with the left foot. The deep man for Rockland, again, is number 7. That's Dom White. And then the two shorter guys at about the 15-yard line. On the far side is number 4, Taryn Williams. And we know DePina is down there. It's going to go all the way down to White at the 13-yard line. White brings it right up the middle and gets stood up at the 29-yard line.
Good pursuit there by the Green Wave.
Number 7 travels into a
Of course, Riley's mother was a standout soccer player, right?
Who's that?
Leslie.
Oh, yeah.
Still a soccer player.
Leslie Russell.
First and 10, Bulldogs.
Ball going to be marked at the 29, Kev?
The 29-yard line. First and 10 for the Bulldogs with 3:52 here to go in this third quarter. Green Wave up 14-0.
Abington defense has really done a whale of a job thus far this game, and they got to kind of keep that pressure on DePina and company. Shotgun to DePina, handoff up the middle, is going to squeeze through. That's Erner with a nice bit of running up to about the 35.
A nice 6-yard pickup there by the Bulldogs.
Joe Erner. Just up the middle for about 5.
The one thing the Green Wave has to do, though, is keep that consistent pressure that they've been having all night long. Right? You don't want to let up a little bit now and give them a cheap score, get them back in this ball game.
Jonathan Shop Hunt was having a little fun in the backfield with one of the Bulldog players. 2nd and 4. Wide outs to each side for DePina. DePina going to run it over to the left side, punches it outside, now punches it back, tries to reverse direction, flag thrown, and he's going to be stood up by Connor Pease. No gain on the play, and likely it'll be a penalty against Rockland.
Yeah. Well, whenever you're in the backfield that much, I mean, you're going to have some holding, right? And I think that's exactly what happened. DePina was bouncing around trying to find a hole there.
That's the preliminary signal from referee Hobson.
Is that the second time tonight?
Yeah, moving him back. So they move back to the 25-yard line.
Makes it 2nd and 15.
14,
but close enough.
Yep.
When I watch the pros, they don't correct each other. They just let it go.
But we're not pros.
Mm-hmm.
All right, DePina gets the play selection. See if they go to the air in this one, or if they try some sort of end around, which appears to be where DePina is most effectively. But I think the Green Wave corners have been doing a great job as the game has gone on. Slot right formation for the quarterback. Looking to throw, looking to the right side, rolling to the right. Now steps up in a crowd, puts it downfield, and connects nicely. Is he inbound?
First down, I think he is.
I think he is at the 40.
Yep, right at the 40-yard line. Yeah. First down.
A nice route run by number 4, Taryn Williams.
Well, the Green Wave, the one thing the Green Wave doing is they're putting pressure on DePina. So it's really not a route. It's almost like he was coming back to help DePina out there. And what happens is, though, he's throwing up some soft balls because he is under pressure.
Yeah.
And, eventually one of those is going to get picked.
You can see the replay, although Williams is open, though. He had no one around.
Yeah, he came back off his route, cut back up, and
another flag.
Movement.
Looks like it's going to be, if it was 1st and 10 at the 40, it might be 1st and 15.
But that's what good wide receivers do, right? They see their quarterback's in trouble, dancing around a little bit. They'll come back towards the ball. You do that, you give him an opportunity to break away from your defender, but also you have an easier pass for the quarterback.
And, credit to DePina, too, that even though he's in trouble, he's keeping the eyes downfield, and he's looking for someone to release to.
Absolutely. I mean, the kid's a good quarterback, great athlete.
2:32 on the clock here in the third quarter. Abington up 14-0.
Back 5 yards. 1st and 15.
It's like that was an offside lineup, so the offense lined up in the neutral zone.
1st and 15 at the 45.
Could get hit by a car.
Shotgun. He's going to roll to the near side. Big pressure. He makes him cut back. And he's going to be hauled down at the original line of scrimmage. The eventual tackler looked like Andrew Kerr, number 51.
Aiden McCullough, number 22, though? He came rushing in, Sean, kind of created, so he stopped him from being able to go wide, and we had to cut back up, and where the Green Wave had some help there. Makes it a 2nd and 10 here for the Bulldogs as we come down to 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Green Wave up 14-0.
Second and 10. They pitch, going around the right side, Taryn Williams. Williams trying to find some room, gets around the corner. LeBlanc slows him up, and he's taken down, but it looks like
first down,
first down.
He did. I don't know, it looks like he might be marking him right at the marker.
Williams. Number 6, William LeBlanc on the stop.
So, looks like the Bulldogs did get the first down there, so it's 1st and 10 here for the Bulldogs right at the 50-yard line.
1st and 10 right at midfield.
Bulldogs coming up to the line of scrimmage with a little bit of urgency there as they know the clock is not their friend at this point in the game, Sean.
That's right. Williams in motion. It's going to be keep it by DePina up the middle. DePina puts his head down, and then he's taken down by a slew of green shirts.
Picked up about 2. One of the things I think the Bulldogs, the Green Wave has been pretty locked in on DePina.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like one of their other guys is going to, one of the other guys is going to have to step up here if they're going to make something happen here and come up with a big play.
So pickup of 2 on the play, bring up 2nd and 8.
Clock is ticking.
Minute 13 and rolling.
Okay, let's make that the 48 for Abington.
Rockland has the big strike capability, though. But, that capability is typically DePina with a breakaway run, but our secondary has been playing pretty well on the run defense thus far.
When you put pressure on a quarterback, no matter what level, it makes them make decisions quicker than they want.
That's right.
And the Green Wave has been able to get good pressure, so that makes not that our backfield isn't good, defensive backfield isn't good, it makes it a lot easier for the defensive backfield to look better.
They stack it. Oh, there's movement. There's a flag. There you go. Another 5-yard penalty against Rockland. They had trips to the right side, put a man in motion, and then one of the receivers on the far side just kind of flinched early.
With a man in motion as well, so. Yep.
So moving back, instead of 2nd and 8, it's going to be 2nd and 13.
Well, Rockland has definitely not helped themselves tonight, Sean.
No. A.J. Nash checks back in and gives Chris Patterson a breather. Rockland needs to keep the ball moving, and Abington would like to have him cough it up. Clock is now rolling on the 30 seconds here in the third quarter. Rockland out to the line of scrimmage. They have a tight formation with Erner in the backfield with DePina. DePina's going to roll. He's looking to throw. Has some time.
Holding.
Another flag thrown.
Holding.
They pitch it out to Camo. Camo at the 45 gets it down to the 36. But there's laundry on the field.
The Green Wave player was just kind of like with his hand up in the air, like, hey, because he was trying to pull away.
And that's what he's already made the signal. The referee saw that one.
I think we know by their reaction who it was.
10-yard penalty. So now, instead of 2nd and 13, it'll be 2nd and 23.
Well, the Green Wave is causing the pressure, right? I mean, they're forcing the players to do things that they don't want to do because they're getting away from them, and then in the Green Wave. And part of the problem, too, is with DePina, when you have a quarterback that moves like that, doesn't stay in the pocket, you don't know which direction he's going.
If you're the lineman,
If you're the lineman, you don't know what direction he's going. If he stayed in the pocket, and just saw a lane, then he ran, it would be different. But what's happening here is like, you don't know what direction. So what happens, you're trying to block him. All of a sudden, you think the guy's over here, the quarterback's over to your right, and he's going left, and then your guy leaves that way.
Right.
And it puts
it's almost a natural reaction that you try to grab him.
It puts the offensive line in a disadvantage there. And I think that's what you're seeing here tonight with Rockland, is that the quarterback is very mobile, very athletic, but it puts them at a huge disadvantage.
So the third quarter clock runs out. I want to let you know about the special food drive on November 4th. The Scouts of America Troop and Pack 41 will be running the Abington Food Drive Saturday, November 4th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Abington Food Pantry, which is located at 425 Plymouth Street. That's right next to adjacent to the parking lot at St. Bridget's Church, 425 Plymouth Street, the Abington Food Pantry. Scouts are asking Abington residents who are able and willing to please stop by on Saturday, November 4th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. to donate food items. Suggested items include boxed pasta, spaghetti sauce, macaroni and cheese, rice, cereal, Chef Boyardee, canned corn or other vegetables, peanut butter, jelly, cookies, snack bars, toilet paper, paper towels, tissues, dish soap, shampoo, laundry detergent, napkins, and any other non-perishable food items. Once again, that's the Scouts of America Troop and Pack 41 running the Abington Food Drive on Saturday, November 4th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Abington Food Pantry located at 425 Plymouth Street next to St. Bridget's Church.
Great job there by the Boy Scouts and Scouts. Good job. We're also doing the community food packaging event's going to happen in November. Again, we'll have more details as we get closer to that event, but that's a great event where, Abington citizens make about 200,000 meals for the different food
is amazing
pantries.
Abington graduate Jeff Stone,
who does all the work. He is an amazing guy, does great work, and they're always looking for donations too to help out.
All right, second and Rhode Island here, second and 23. DePina is going to run it to the left, trying to get some running room. He's being strung out, and he's going to be really just get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, nice job there once again by the Green Wave.
Nothing doing.
You're going to put Rockland here in a position, Sean, where they might have to go for it, even if it's long. And obviously, if it's, you don't want to go for it, but if it's 4th and 25, but I mean, you're looking at the clock. You might not get the ball back twice again.
Yeah, right now it's 3rd and 24 from the 36. They got to get it inside the Abington 40-yard line. And the tough thing is, with a relatively long pass, DePina hasn't had a lot of time to
He has
up.
not. The Green Wave's done a great job of pressure there.
But some of the receivers have been able to get open. So we'll see where this takes us. Trips to the far side of the field. $282 50-50 raffle winner. DePina fades back. He's being flushed out of the pocket. He's running for his life. He's back behind the 35, still on his feet, and he's going to be... No, he still breaks away. Some good blocking by the Bulldog. Now he leaves it for his fullback at the 40 and then taken down at the 45-yard line. Wow, what a play.
Erna there.
Yeah. Erna doing a nice job getting open, but DePina, what a play by DePina, and a good job by the Green Wave defense just keeping him honest.
That was almost a whole quarter itself there, Sean.
Watch this play.
It's amazing how he...
It was a great job fleshing it out, pulling him outside. This Tikhonov leading away.
We got LaRosa there, lost his footing a little bit there on the outside, but then 51
Jonathan
for the
Hunt is number 59.
51 for the Green Wave, had a shot at him too. Andrew Kerr had him. But, the Green Wave defense did a good job keeping it in front of him. Still makes it a 4th here, 4th and about 15. Rockland's going for it.
At the 45, looking to throw. Connor Pease coming in on the far side. Now Pina trying to break away. Still looking downfield. Now he's going to launch.
He was over the line of scrimmage.
And it's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, he was over the line of scrimmage.
Yep. Way
45 was the line of scrimmage, and he threw that ball at about the 47.
Let's see what the calls are. Pina's pass was incomplete to number 4.
Yeah, it's going to be, and that's a loss of down, so you don't get penalized on it. It's just going to be turnover on downs there.
Green Wave will get it at the Rockland 45.
Yeah. When I saw him looking, I'm started to look deep. I'm like, wait, he's I could see the 4 down marker there behind him.
Be an illegal forward pass as he went over the line of scrimmage, we believe. Referee Hobson's going to let us know over his microphone.
Green Wave's coming off. They're all excited there. Nice job, Green Wave. I didn't know who the Green Wave player, if they showed that play again, the Green Wave player, I think it was Tikhonov, was out there, Sean, kind of almost shadowing him and making sure that, he didn't, making sure that he didn't break it off for a long run and get that first down. Nice discipline there by the Green Wave out in that flat. I think it was Tikhonov, number 45.
So 9:54 here on the clock, and the Green Wave again pick up the ball. So they mark off the penalty too. That's right.
Wow, 5 yards.
So where are they leaving? The 42 now.
So it's at the 42-yard line.
Now Abington.
Oh, I think it's just the original line of scrimmage, Sean. I think the flag was where he threw it from. I think
Abington just keep it on the ground, take time off the clock, get another score.
Yeah, clock is your friend.
Riley's going to give it to Solimini. Solimini just snakes his way through there up to the 35-yard line.
Got to make sure you hold on to the ball.
That's right.
2 hands on it at this point, right? You got the ball down there at their 35.
Picks up 7 on the play.
No, don't go out of bounds. You keep the clock moving.
Right. Well-coached Abington Green Wave team.
And they're really, I'll tell you, they're impressive tonight. They've done a great job.
Just got to keep it up for another 9.5 minutes.
I mean, Rockland's won the last 4 games.
They've done very well. Yeah, they've had a pretty good streak. Of course, they won at Gillette on a backbreaker of a kickoff
They won
return.
two times that year, and
2 men in the backfield again behind Riley. They give quick hitter again to Solomini. Solomini bounces off of one guy and keeps going forward.
Second down and 3. Let's see.
Nice job by the Green Wave.
Abington guys are just pushing some of the Rockland guys around down there.
1 or 2 yard pickup.
Wojciechowski had DePina on that one. And I don't think DePina liked having the big boy on him. But
Third
he's a
and 1.
tough kid. I mean, like, Rockland's got a good team here, too, 5-0. So this really mixes it up in the South Shore League, because now you got Norwell with one loss, Green Wave with 1 loss, and Rockland with 1 loss.
Again, Solomini and A.J. Nash in the backfield. Riley's going to keep it.
I don't know. He's
Flag thrown. There's a
Motion.
procedure against Abington, one of the few penalties against the Green Wave tonight.
I think it might have been like the ball might have been a little bit delayed there, Sean.
A.J. Nash's younger brother, Mason Nash, unfortunately, is on the sidelines tonight. He has a lower body injury. We hope to see him back.
I didn't see the injury report this week, so I missed that.
I can't disclose it to you. 3rd and 6.
3rd and 1 to 36 for Abington.
8:15 and rolling here in the fourth quarter. Abington up 14-0. It was a 7-0 halftime lead. Rockland got the kickoff and went 3 and out and punted, and the Green Wave marched it downfield 70 yards, capped off by the Simonetti 1-yard dive. Abington now puts wideouts to each side. Eye backfield behind Riley. They put Pease in motion. Riley pitches to the near side. Head of steam.
What a nice job, God. Lunged forward, got the hand down.
Wow.
Was able to kind of just lunge a little bit more to get that first down and pick up an extra 3 yards there with that hand down on the ground.
That should not have been a first down. Ryan Solomini did a great job, like you said, using that left arm as a kickstand to stay above the turf.
We saw that at Norwell with the Green Wave. I mean, against Norwell, literally lost the game because of that. The kid was just able to put his hand down and extend every single run by 2 or 3 yards.
7.5 minutes to go and rolling here.
And it's a lot tougher to do on regular grass than that is on AstroTurf, that's for sure.
Right. Shout out to everyone who's watching this live stream game, supporting Abington Green Wave Sports. A.J. Nash and Simonetti in the backfield. Riley fumble, jumps. I don't know who's got it.
Back to Rockland ball.
Rockland gets it at the 27. The ball gets kicked forward. And that's the second time. Well, actually, second or third time we've seen a fumble.
Second time we've seen a fumble on the exchange.
Right. We had the penalty previously. It looked like a timing issue. So it'll be a turnover to Rockland, which is what they need. We'll see the replay coming up. Thanks to Kevin Tachi and our great cameraman Dave.
Yeah, tough to tell.
So with 7:07 on the clock, Rockland's offense comes back out.
Green Wave defense just has to do what they've been doing, Sean.
Ball on the 27-yard line. They got 2 wideouts to each side. They need 2 touchdowns to tie the game. They've got a good kicker if that becomes an issue. DePina looking to throw. He's looking on the far side, puts it out on the flat, and there's Duggan on him, won't let him go, and he's going to be taken down.
Duggan with a great play, great coverage out there in the flat. Only a 3-yard pickup.
Aiden McClellan also helping out.
The other thing, too, keeping them from getting out of bounds, keeping the clock going. Just textbook defense. Great ball. Great job out there.
The only criticism I give there was DePina was just kind of telegraphing where he was throwing that one there. He was looking for that man.
Well, at this point, though, Sean, you're up 2 scores. You do not want to try to be the hero and pick it off. You want to make sure you keep the guy in front of you.
Erner in the backfield with DePina. DePina moves him over. Says, watch out for this guy on my left. Looking to throw. Looking on the near side. Trying to get down the sideline. He's looking for Taryn Williams, but here comes Pease. Pease gets him. Puts it up in the air. It's going to be picked off by the Green Wave. Rosa at the 31-yard line.
What a... there's going to be a penalty here for the Green Wave, I bet, because you got too much... there
goes the flag.
Green Wave came off the field there. And
31... Nice job by Connor Pease. He made that happen with the intense pressure against DePina. And Rosa had to wait for that one to come down.
Yeah, Green Wave players, I think, got a little too excited, came off the bench.
Here's a replay.
But we were talking about how he throws it up, Sean, and this is another example of that. He hasn't got burnt all night by that, but, that's an example. Of course, he had to make a play,
Yeah.
You know, it's second down in 9. He had to make a play. You got the clock is down to 6 minutes here.
The referees talking about what they
think happened, or thought happened, or thought. Well, it was just a huge scrum.
Interception was at the 31 or the 30-yard line. 6:11 on the clock. It'll be Green Wave ball.
Yeah, I think
the penalty was after the play.
A dead ball foul. I think it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, as it should for Green Wave, kind of coming off the bench. And it wasn't coming off the bench to join in. It was coming off the bench because they were excited, which is a sideline infraction.
Unless something happened in that little scrum that we didn't see.
Right.
But referee Hobson will tell us. There he is.
After the play was over, there were 1,000 left in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, conduct. Unfortunately, 57. Unfortunately, conduct on the offense, number 4.
So, offsetting penalty. That's a break.
Let's not take away, though, that Connor Pease just made a great play there on that defensively, Sean. Able to kind of get out there, a really quick athlete, was able to kind of get there and make sure that he, kept him at bay and then got him and just wouldn't let him go. Just a huge play by Connor Pease, forcing that error by DePina.
Abington coaches are really laying into some of the Abington players for getting that penalty. And really trying to say, look, you got 4 quarters to play, and you still got 6 minutes and 11 seconds. You got to play as smart as you have for the first 3 quarters. So now 1st and 10 at the Rockland 30 with a 14-0 lead. A.J. Nash in the backfield. Riley puts Simonetti in motion, gives to Simonetti right side. Simonetti turns it upfield. Simonetti, nice tackle at the 26-yard line.
4-yard pickup.
And clock stops.
Another good push on that right side. They were able to get some help on that coming over from that.
Yep.
They were able to get help from the left side of Rockland there. But nice job, a nice push there. If you get 4 yards every time down in this territory, the Green Wave will be fine.
Tom Cedarman had to get off the field because his helmet fell off, number 59 for Rockland. Here come the Green Wave. 2nd down. Again, Nash in the backfield. Maxwell out wide to the near side. Single coverage. Riley under center, calls his cadence. It's a man in motion to give again in the motion man. That is Solomini, number 2. Ryan Solomini gets taken down to the 21-yard line, and he is hugging that ball. Some downfield blocking. Both teams, good job by the teammates for both teams trying to calm down the guys who are getting a little hot-headed. Ball at the 21 now.
And it's usually those guys with mid numbers like 50 to 60s or 70s. They get caught up in that.
What number were you?
I was number 50, but I never really got hot-headed when I played. It's tough to get hot-headed when you're on the bench.
All right, 3rd and 1 at the 21. Green Wave break the huddle with Simonetti and Nash in the backfield. Solomini in the right side wing. They give to Nash. Nash needs 1, gets about 5.
That's it. Keep those chains moving. Keep the clock moving. Impressive game here by the Green Wave so far.
Really has on both sides of the ball. Even when they did make a mistake, like a fumble, whatever, they reacted. They came back strong.
No, we're talking about players of the game, and I think definitely the offensive line, Sean, would have to be mentioned as the players of the game for this particular game. They just really dominated Rockland down on the line of scrimmage, and I think the other one is obviously Solomini.
Yes.
Number 2 just had some big plays when it needed to. So I think those 2 groups in one individual they really kind of stood out today. Everyone played well.
All the running backs played really well. Solomini just had something he ate for breakfast today. And it really showed and really kind of lit a fire for everyone. Give is to A.J. A.J. Nash. Driving, still on his feet, spinning. A.J. still on his feet, spins again, down inside the 10. Nash with a couple of white bodies on him, and he will not go down. A.J. Nash. And this is my home field, boys.
Well, somehow I think, Sean, if you ate it and I ate it, wouldn't work as well.
Nash there again showing what he does best.
Yep, nice job.
Always reliable. Watch this replay of A.J. Nash, a senior running back, number 29. Gets it.
Look at that. He's right over the tackle. The guy there spins.
Hits again. Spins again. He's got 3 guys trying to take him down.
They're going for the ball, and he had both hands on it too. So,
ball now just outside the 10-yard line. 2nd and about 4 or so. Give is to Simonetti right side. Simonetti looks for the hole. Cuts it back inside.
What a cut. What a touchdown.
It looked like he got in. Look like it.
I think touchdown, man of Muskegon. Woo! I did. They want me to do it again. Touchdown, man of Muskegon.
Ryan Simonetti with another Green Wave touchdown. His second touchdown of the game. 10-yard run for Simonetti. Nice blocking downfield by the Abington Green Wave. And Abington with a third touchdown.
3:15 to go in the ball game here. The Green Wave puts it away. Took advantage of that turnover.
Riley to kick. Duggan to hold. Bodie to snap. Bodie Johnson.
Nice snap.
Nice hold.
That's good.
Nice kick.
That's
right.
Good. 3 for 3 tonight.
That's right.
Green Wave, 21-0.
Abington's going to be very happy. The coach is going to be very happy with a lot they're seeing there today. There's always room for improvement, but there are a lot of good things out there on the playing field. Jim Kelleher is going to be happy. The first game he coached was against Rockland Bulldogs 50 years ago. This will be the last time he coaches against Rockland in the regular season anyhow.
Playback of this game and any Green Wave sports coverage can be found on Comcast.
21-0, Green Wave lead with a kickoff to come with 3:15 to go.
A statement game, as I said earlier, Sean, here by the Green Wave.
Visit Abington Fan TV.
Well, let's just hope it doesn't get too chippy here. Rockland apparently doesn't really have that big play capability.
I think they do. I think, the Green Wave has just put a lot of pressure on them. Been taking advantage of some of the matchups down in the trenches that have forced, just put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and he hasn't been able to have the time. And they've taken away lanes. People have been playing good, disciplined defense and haven't allowed him to give those big lanes that would usually allow a big play.
I'm just watching some of the Abington players whose name I won't mention, jarring with Taryn Williams, who's out there on the field, and the line judge has told them to knock it off, which is appropriate. Line drive kick going to roll down inside the 15 to the 13-yard line where it's picked up by White. White going to be taken down.
24.
Is that
Salamini. Number 3? No. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, that was Salamini.
It is.
Number
Salamini
2.
made the tackle.
Sometimes it's tough until they turn around and see the 2 or the 3. Especially now they're all wearing the pink armbands too, so it's like everything is
right
exactly the same.
No one stands out as much. So Rockland from their own 25-yard line.
Rockland's still in this mix, and there's probably a good chance that the Green Wave would see them again.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
First and 10 from their own 25.
Well, Rockland next week is playing at Middleborough, and then they have a home game against Sandwich. Give left side right up the middle. Erner gets stood up after he crosses the line of
some big hitting down there. I'll tell you that. That was I think there was LaRosa in there, number 62, throwing himself in there.
Looks like Rockland's kind of mailed this in.
Yeah.
When you just have a dive between the guards with 3 minutes to go. Bring up 2nd and 8. According to Steve Wakeland over there in the bright orange jersey on the far sideline. I want to thank the Chain Gang crew.
More accurate than the weather.
Oh, boy. That's Kevin Whalen. I'm Sean Riley. I want to thank Kevin Tachi. We got Ian and Dave working on the cameras and on the equipment tonight. They make it happen.
Hands off to
Sweep around the near side.
It's number 7.
It's White. And he's going to be stood up.
Ooh.
Was that 52 or 62 in that attack? Oh, it's 59.
59, and Duggan in there, as always. Number 11 for the Green Wave. Heart and soul. He is just he's got such high energy.
No, that was 62. That was LaRosa.
LaRosa once again. He's had a heck of a game tonight.
He really has. I mean, there's a lot of guys you could give. Tikhonov has been playing really well. Duggan, of course, been playing well.
Connor Pease, right? They've all had a great game up there.
Under 2 minutes to go.
Like we said, when you put pressure on the quarterback, it just makes Riley's job and LeBlanc's job and AJ Nash's job so much easier back there. Because it's like you only have to hold your guy for like 2 or 3 seconds, and Green Wave is going to be having him run around.
I just think this is a little uncharacteristic of the Rockland coaching staff.
Oh.
I don't know. 3rd down. Put a man in motion as Williams. They're going to give to Williams, trying to get a student body left around the far side.
Duggan once again there. Look at that.
Around.
Duggan, and then number 22 for the Green Wave. Aiden McClellan. Sean, I was going to say, though, you say that, but at the same time, you got a couple minutes here. You're down 3 touchdowns. You're not going to be able to do anything.
Yep.
So you don't want to give away,
Well,
some
that's the
playbook
thing. I
to-
think is they're afraid of giving away another pick six or giving out.
No, I mean, you don't want to give away someone like, if you have a big play or you have a play that, tonight's not the
Show
night.
it,
Yeah,
right.
it's not the time to show it. You get the playoffs coming up. You get some things coming up. Everybody watches film.
That's true.
And this is a film that, other teams would watch because they're going to see, like, okay, how did Abington stop him? Right?
Salamini and AJ Nash go back deep for the Green Wave.
Yep, they're going to regroup there.
It is 4th and 5 from the 30.
The clock is running.
Abington coaches are telling their receivers that if they can, they want to call a fair catch to stop the clock, which it will stop. But Rockland is just trying to milk time off the clock, and they're going to take a timeout with 28 seconds to go.
Well, just a great game here by the Green Wave, a complete game. Just a few little things you could, little turnovers here and there. But, other than that, I mean, they just really had a dominant performance defensively here tonight by the Green Wave. The defense was able to bail out when there was a mistake, like those fumbles or anything like that. The defense was strong enough here tonight to really, just shut it right down. So just a great job here by the Green Wave.
It makes you think that, they played a solid game against Silver Lake. They played a solid game against Rockland. So hopefully Norwell was kind of an aberration of a game. And, that bodes well as they go to East Bridgewater next week, next Friday night, October 20th, at East Bridgewater. The following Friday night, the 27th, will be home against a very strong Middleborough team that is in contention for the league, too.
We said earlier at the top of the game, Sean, that, the Norwell game came down to about 7 different plays.
Yeah.
That if Abington came up with a big play, or made the play,
Yep.
then, that game could have been a lot different or at least a lot closer. I mean, so tonight the Green Wave didn't, they came up with all the big plays.
They really did.
Just a special win here for the Green Wave.
They answered the bell in a true team victory, which is something that's always good to celebrate in the locker room. So they go back in a punt formation, do the Bulldogs from their own 30-yard line. Green Wave receivers standing downfield at their own 40-yard line.
Whoa.
High snap. Comes down with it nicely. High, nice kick. It's going to be a fair catch. Nash at the 41-yard line.
Well, that ball might have a little dew on it there, Sean.
That's right.
They're pretty high. Nice kick there. Nice punt by the Bulldogs. The Green Wave will do the victory formation with 24 seconds to go here. Wow, what a fun game. Fast game, too. This game's going to be played in 1 hour and 40 minutes, which is an amazing thing for high school. That's including a halftime. So,
great game by the Abington Green Wave on both sides. Congratulations to the coaching staff. They had them really ready for tonight's game. But these guys really executed really well out there on all facets of the game. They line up for the last play of the game with 24 seconds on the clock. Riley will just take a knee.
and that's the ball game. Congratulations to the Green Wave, picking up the record of 5-1.
Abington, that one feels good too, because as you mentioned, Rockland had their number for a couple of the last few games. And Abington with a convincing 21-0 victory from start to finish. They had a couple of nice long drives by the Green Wave.
Sean, we talk about a statement game, and the reason why we say that is, I think this team has, the last couple of years, last year was definitely sort of a rebuilding year for Abington, as much as they don't want to say that, and I think, you look at this game, this is really the first game where they, I think, played start to finish, just played solid defense, solid offense, really took the line of scrimmage control. And when something bad happened, they just basically dealt with it and had a good response to it defensively.
You got to have the memory of a goldfish out there, right? You just go to the next play, and that's what they did. Here comes the Abington guys coming back, running across to the home side of the field, and they are ecstatic about how they played today.
Great win. Great job by the Green Wave.
Having a lot of fun down there celebrating, and I think the coaches will also do some celebrating tonight. Want to thank everybody, especially those guys, those people in the stands here tonight, for being there. The kids notice it. They appreciate the support, the cheers. Want to thank and congratulate the youth football and youth cheerleading teams and all the people who volunteer to make those programs so successful. Want to thank Kevin Tocci, Tom Dion, who is our PA announcer, Ian upstairs, along with Dave, and Bo, and WATD Radio that's here tonight. It was just a great family event for anyone who was wearing green and white tonight. So he's Kevin Whalen. I'm Sean Riley. I want to thank you for tuning in and for supporting Abington Green Wave football. We will see you down Route 18 next week at East Bridgewater High School, where the Green Wave will take on the Vikings and more South Shore League action. Final score once again from Abington's Memorial Field. The Abington Green Wave 21, the Rockland Bulldogs 0. We'll see you next week.